Well, it's been a while since I said this word before. It's Tuesday Wrestling, and you all know what that means. Now, usually we have on Tuesdays, we have NWA Powerrr, which was a good show to continue on with the qualifying series for the national title. And of course, we got AEW Dark. This time it went a little more shorter, maybe less to an hour. And also, we got NXT, where the main event we see Kyle O'Reilly taking on Kushida. But also going to throw in New Japan Pro Wrestling, where they continue on with Kizuna Road, with the main event being for the Never Openweight six-man tag team titles. So, let's get started with another episode of the Leaded Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Leaded Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So let's begin right now with New Japan Pro Wrestling with their Kizuna Road. First thing first, I will apologize for everyone because the thing is, this particular event is day number 6. Now, day number 4 and 5 were not available in the new, NJPW live on demand because it was not televised, it wasn't broadcast. It was more like a house show type, something we've seen with WWE. But this time we got day number 6, and I'm able to review for that one. Now, if I reviewed the other ones that never were on televised, it wouldn't be unfair because it would give me the results, but it doesn't give me the actual idea of what really happened in the matches. But for right now, let's just do this way what we can get. So, the opening match for this one was Yuya Uemura taking on none other than Taichi. Now, this match I wasn't too much sold because I have seen Yuya Uemura, how he's been in one of those tough guys who's not afraid of throwing down, but I feel Taichi wasn't one of those guys because he had the one particular match I've always did enjoy Yuya Uemura being involved is when he got in the face of Minoru Suzuki, but you can guess in this one Taichi won. Now this next match is Yota Tsuji, another young lion taking on another Suzuki Gun member. This time is Zack Sabre Jr. I have to say this one was pretty impressive because in a way we can agree Zack Sabre Jr. is the technical wizard, one of the best submission specialists. But when it comes to Yota Tsuji, he seems like a powerhouse type who would do whatever it takes to pull up the victory. But I have to say, he came up short and Zack Sabre Jr. win. But however, this match was very, very impressive. I really, really dig it. The next match we have Bullet Club, Yado, Ghetto, El Fantasmo, and Taiji Shimuri taking on Chaos members Total Yanu, Kaguchika Okada, Roppongi 3Ks, Sho, and Yo. Now, this is one of those matches that has a story build up, as you know. Ishimori and El Fantasmo are set to face Roppongi 3K for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. It's still unclear. We know they're going to be doing it on the Kizuna Road. We'll be following that soon. But it was a good match. But however, the match ended in favor of Kaguchika Okada pinning. Uh, I think it was. I don't remember if it was Ghetto or Yado, because recently we haven't been seeing any of these matches end in a good pinfall. So basically, it kind of played out that way. Next match we have Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and you know Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Kota Ibushi taking on all four members of LIJ. Now, this particular match, you can tell this you got Kota Ibushi, a guy who's now in his prime, teaming with the legendary wrestlers, taking on LIJ. But this match was basically still in favor to see Bushi in taking on Shingo, which is going to be a good match. But however, it was Satoshi Kojima who put the lariat on Bushi to pick up the 1, 2, 3. So basically, this doesn't affect, but however, the storyline that we are getting is that Ibushi will face Shingo Takagi for the IWGP World Heavyweight Title, and that could be in Wrestle Grand Slam. Now, the main event is for the Never Openweight six-man tag team championships between Bullet Club, Yujiro Takahashi, who finally brings Pietra, who we haven't seen her for quite some time, along with Dick Togo and Evil, taking on all three members of Chaos. This match was very, very good because thing is, they say that Yoshihashi has always played the underdog in the entire Chaos faction because in the beginning he was in a losing effort, he got injured, he got back, and I say last year was his biggest moment ever since he became a champion, which was the greatest thing. And I have to say, their impressive ways with keeping Yoshihashi as champion continues on. So the real question is, will we see that streak continues? The answer is yes, thanks to Hideyoki Goto, who actually pulled off the victory for his team. However, in the post match, it appears new challengers have arisen, and these are the legendary wrestlers. The legends themselves, the veterans. We're talking about Yuji Nagata, uh, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, and of course, Satoshi Kojima. Now, this is going to be interesting to see Chaos taking on the legends of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm excited to see this because it's going to be a very good, interesting match to watch. So I think that's pretty much it what we got with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's move on with NWA. Okay, we got the National Wrestling Alliance. We got the NWA Power Show. It opened up with an interview by Kyle Davis talking to, once again, the annoyance of Strictly Business. Whenever the truth comes out, they deny it. They think it's all about a conspiracy. First things first, we were aware for the main event, we have, of course, Chris Adonis and Tom Latimer against. They're facing off each other along with Pero. Adonis and Camille think this is a big conspiracy on Billy Corgan's part. Well, we know Billy Corgan has been very sick and tired of trying to set up good matches, but Nick Aldis decided to go on this. However, um, they still think that Billy Corgan is nothing but that there's a conspiracy because of him. We'll see what happens down the line. But we do get another interview this time. May Valentine talks to War Kings. Um, Crimson is set to face against Slice Boogie, who he's been annoyed by him for quite some time. Ever since Slice Boogie got involved, got in, being in booked in NWA, he's been causing nothing but problems for Jack Stain, who believes Jack Stain needs to retire. He needs to go away and leave guys like him taking over. And Crimson does not appreciate that. So basically, he wants to put an end to him. Now, the opening match, the first match of the night, it's Nims taking on this mass wrestler. Let's just dub him, is now being dubbed as Mystery Man. I have to say, this match was kind of like another impressive. Now, do we think he's like another version of the question mark? I don't think so. I think the question mark was very entertaining, very much like he'll make you laugh. But what the mystery man is like, who is he? Who's underneath the mask? That's pretty much the gimmick they're going in. But I don't mind that. But I have to say, Mystery Man did a pretty good job. I think we are gonna get more of him maybe down the line, but we'll see where they're gonna jump in with that. Now, the next match we have Jordan Clearwater teaming with Black G's, taking on Tyrus in a handicap match. But however, this was a very bizarre match where Black G's and of course Jordan Clearwater threw the match. I don't know what was that all about. And I'm like thinking, is this the business proposition that he was talking about? I don't know. I'm a little confused, but we'll see what happens next week for that or so. Then we get, of course, for the first time ever, Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa being interviewed. As you know, Serena Deeb recently lost the NWA World Women's title to Camille. Basically, we're seeing back and forth attitude between both these women. Of course, Serena Deeb has Kylie Ray by her side, and of course, Thunder Rosa got Melina, but of course, Sky Blue is on the side of Thunder Rosa. She has been one of her proteges, but we'll see how that goes. But of course, the brawl between them is going to continue on, and we'll see where they're going to go with this one. Now, Slice Boogie, on the other hand, faces off Crimson. This match was no DQ. Anything could happen. It was more like Crimson wanted to break him in half. And not only that, he was about to do the one thing Jack Stain did not like. He was about to put him out of his misery by using a chair, and Jack Stain told him, no, this is not what you should be doing. I'm like thinking, is this more of the beginning now where we see the War Kings, they could fall apart? I don't know. I mean, we've seen tag teams in the past where some things have changed. I mean, we've seen that already recently with Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan down in NXT UK, but anything could happen. Now, the main event was very interesting. This one is the qualifying match for the national title in a three-way. We had Chris Adonis, Perro, and Tom Latimer. Now, this started out more of a two-on-one situation, but there were moments where both Latimer and Adonis faced off. But this could be also another thing where it could happen. Now, we could say that the strictly business could fall apart, but Nick Aldis would say no, it's all a conspiracy and all that. But what we witnessed in this particular match, Adonis fooled Latimer in order to pick up the victory against both men, allowing himself to qualify the match. So basically, I don't know if Nick Aldis is going to ignore that or do something about it, whatever the scenario is. But we'll see what's going to happen next week. Okay, so we got AEW Dark. I must inform everyone. This time we went back to less than an hour. You see, and if you guys remembered or not, back in the early days of AEW Dark, it was a 1 hour show on YouTube. It appears to be a bit lesser now. I don't know, once things get back to normal, we might get that. But we'll see what happens down the line for that. Now, it started out with an interview with the Varsity Blondes, of course. It was revealed that both competitors, both Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, will be in singles competition. But however, Brian Pillman does made thoughts on Miro for what happened last week. Last Wednesday, as you guys remembered, no, last Friday, apparently Miro did not like what he saw. He was trying to defend Bentley Ford, but that whole story is going to be at another conversation at another time. So he's prepared for this coming Saturday against Miro, which is going to be a very good one to watch. It started out, the opening match was Lance Archer taking on Rex Lawless. You can guess with this match that Archer, the dog has been unleashed. He brutalized him badly. It just went quicker, and that was it. So Lance Archer won. Next match, we have Brian Pillman Jr. taking on Bear Bronson of Bear Country. It was absolutely good. I have to say, Brian Pillman has evolved, and I'm hoping that AEW sign both Garrison and Pillman along with Julia as one of their teams. I have to say, I think I dig the Varsity Blondes even better. But and of course, Brian Pillman actually pulled off a springboard lariat on Bear Bronson. I thought it was pretty good. It did give him the 1, 2, 3. Next match we have Brian Cage taking on Chandler Hopkins. Of course, the real question is what is going on with Team Taz? As you know, Taz is the commentator for uh, AEW Dark. There are times he may be chance that he's losing it, he can't control them. So something has to be done. But as soon as the match ended with Brian Cage winning, he chased down Starks. So basically, he still has some unfinished business with him. Next match, we have Diamante taking on Ashley De Boys. Damn Boys. I think that's the lamp pronounce it right. Sounds French to me. But you can guess that. But this time in this particular match, it ended with a very interesting submission. Now I cannot recall if she's done a submission or anything, but if she does, let me know. I'd really like to know that answer to that. But it was really good, even though she won the match. The next one we have Colt Cabana versus Kit Sackett. You know I love Colt Cabana. He's really funny, but he ended the match with the Superman move on Kit Sackett, and 1, 2, 3, it is over, baby. Next match we have Chuck Taylor taking on an old friend of his named Dan Barry. It was a very fun match because, of course, you got the best friends and Orange Cassidy on the ringside. Would do anything to help their friend Chuck Taylor to get, But however, Chuck put Dan Barry in two power driver types uh, moves, and 1, 2, 3, it was all over from then. Next match we have Abaddon taking on one half of Sea Stars, Ashley Vox. Now you can tell she doesn't know what to think, but the match, oh my god, you know it's gonna end with Abaddon winning. You will have nightmares of her whenever you guys sleep. But yeah, the next match we have is Griff Garrison taking on Marco Stunt. I thought it was a very entertaining match because Marco Stunt, he's all energy, all fun. But when it comes to Griff Garrison, he's all in. He's all ready to go to keep continuing the match, and it's kind of interesting that I think we may see in this particular match, where of course Griff Garrison won. There is a possibility we could see Varsity Blondes get a contract deal. I would like to see them because they're not like signed by them, but I would love to see them there. Next match we have the Bunny taking on Reka Tehaka. Now we're seeing more and more of the Bunny because I think many fans would like to see the Bunny be in the rest. But of course, in this one, you can see that the Bunny is now getting more and more momentum as a singles competitor. We normally been seeing her involved in Dark or Elevation, but it's great to see her involved. The main event is Serpentico taking on Stu Grayson. Awesome match. You would have assumed a whole lot, but one thing I did like is how Stu Grayson ended the match by trying to eliminate Luther, giving himself an awesome victory for himself to win the match. So we'll see what's going to happen this coming Saturday. So let's keep moving forward. The final thing I'm going to review is NXT, the latest. It opened up with Adam Cole, who is not happy what happened last week. As you know, he got choked out by Samoa Joe because he provoked him. Despite the fact he doesn't see it that way, he thinks that Samoa Joe crossed the line. But that's not what really happened. However, he refused to pick an opponent for his match that he's going to have for his match for the day because he does not want to face any opponent. He wants to end Kyle O'Reilly. But however, the opponent who stepped up was Carmelo Hayes. I have to say it was a pretty good match to see Carmelo Hayes involved. And I think the first time we saw him is in the open challenge for the cruiserweight title. He came up short, but I have to say with him stepping up against Adam Cole was really really good. I have to say it was a good show. I have to say it was a good opening match. But I feel like they're throwing more about how Adam Cole is saying he is still the king. I mean, look, he's not the champion. We still don't know who will be facing Karrion Kross, but we'll get to that part in a little later. Now, recently we have seen Frankie Monet talking with the two women in the Robert Stone brand. We're talking about Jessica Kaimea and Aaliyah. It appears that for who knows how long, Aaliyah and Jessica Kaimea has been on a losing streak. Is a good chance that Frankie Monet could recruit them. And I don't know if she said these words as a jab to the inner circle. They should call themselves the winner circle. I don't know if that's a direct jab towards AEW because I know many WWE fans are like in heated saying they want AEW to go away, but it's not gonna happen that easily. But who knows? But anyway, back to this. Um, Robert Storm does show up. I don't think he likes what he's here, but I have that distinct feeling sooner or later, if they keep this up with on a losing streak, then there's a chance that both Jesse Kaimea and Aaliyah will ditch Robert Stone and side with Frankie. That would be like another interesting story because we could see an all-female faction. You know, we have tag team groups, but a faction, we haven't seen that in NXT for quite some time. Now, as you know what happened last week with Zoe Starks, she saved Io Shirai. They were set to face in a tag team match against both Jesse Kaimea and um, Aaliyah. What happened is Zoe Starks was about to get herself in a whole lot of mess with them. Io Shirai shows up. Now, Stark says what she did was showing her some respect. Now, however, Io Shirai did say has some words for Zoe Stark. She says, "I don't like you, but I respect you." So basically, that's how Io Shirai is. Now, not only of what happened last week, we saw the most despicable thing we saw. We have LA Knight who took out Ted DiBiase. He had some interesting words saying that he felt that Ted DiBiase was going to be riding his coattails and all of that. And he find Cameron Grimes pathetic about how he chose to side with Ted DiBiase instead of trying to get the title. Basically, what I see in this storyline is this. You see LA Knight, who is the arrogant ass who try to say, "I'm better, I got the $1 million title." But Cameron Grimes looks at Ted DiBiase as, "I can learn from this guy. He's a legend. Come on. Wouldn't you want to learn that?" And I think that's what Cameron Grimes is trying to do. He wants to learn from the best. LA Knight, he's saying, "I don't need him. He's just dead weight." So that's what I feel in this story. Cameron Grimes wants to learn from Ted DiBiase. And to me, if I was gonna invest in a story like this, I would say Ted DiBiase would be his mentor. And I think it would play out a pretty good storyline in that, and that could cause LA Knight to lose confidence in himself. Now, as you know, I did mention who will be challenging Karrion Kross for the NXT title. It looks like someone decided to call him out, and that person is none other than Johnny Takeover or Johnny Wrestling, um, Johnny Gargano, along with the Austin Theory. It appears that he feels that a new champion has, but however, someone did not take that clearly, and that is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne still has his sights on that title. However, Gargano, who tried to play smart, tried to walk away, does not want nothing to do with Dunne. But Austin Theory decided to get his face, and he got both his fingers broken. So practically, that was his mistake. He should have just walked away, but no, he didn't. So basically, we're seeing, okay, who is going to be the lucky recipient to take on Karrion Kross? That is one question we're going to have to see. Now, speaking of what happened with Ted DiBiase, here comes Cameron Grimes, passing up tips to everybody. But however, the newbie in in 205 Live now made his appearance. Ari Sterling decided to say some insulting words in front of Cameron Grimes, and Cameron Grimes didn't take that too kindly, so he gave him a whack. Now, Adam Cole once again He still continues to think that Samoa Joe crossed the line, but Regal doesn't see it that way. Basically, he's seeing how things are getting back in order, which I don't think Adam Cole wants. He wants Kyle O'Reilly gone so he can focus to regain what he felt was taken from him, which is the NXT Championship. Now, Gargano tried to be smart. Him and Theory got in the office with Regal saying consequence. Now, as he first assumed that Samoa Joe was going to choke him out. However, Regal told him he has to face these guys. And of course, that's like the one way to do it. But however, that match was a little later. But we'll get to that in a bit. Now, the second match was Zoe Starks and Io Shirai taking on Jessica Kamea and Aaliyah. It was a good match. You can tell that there were some good moments between Starks and Io Shirai. But however, the current NXT Women's Champions, Tag Team Champions, LeRae and Hartwell showed up because they're scouting. Now, Candice LeRae does not appreciate Io Shirai coming back. She felt she should have been gone. But it was an impressive win, by both Stark and Shirai. And I have to say, but however, here comes the way LeRae and Indy try to get involved. But however, once again, we have Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez who want to regain the titles that they felt they were taken from them. And of course, trying to control. But however, here comes Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, who told everyone that they were the ones that beat Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai for the number one contenders. So basically, they do have a right. It broke out of hell for all three teams. Even Samoa Joe had to restore order. But it was later revealed later in the evening that it was told that we're going to have a number one contendership for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles between Rachel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, um, Zoe Starks and Io Shirai, and of course Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Now, who do I think should win? I mean, I don't know, but I will probably talk about that at another time. We'll see how that goes. Now, I have to say this next one was very good. We had the way Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano taking on Pete Dunne and Orly Lorcan. I like how this match was going because Austin Theory, he had to ride through the pain when his fingers were broken by Pete Dunne, and it kind of felt like, okay, you have to do what you can, and it played, and of course the fans are behind Johnny, and it was pretty cool that they are behind him because Pete Dunne is a real pain in the butt, like what people are saying, like love him or hate him. But Johnny Gargano did pick up the victory, and this seems like it was a perfect opportunity for him to make say he's the one who next claimed to take on Karrion Kross for the title. However, it was the other way around. Kross took him out, so it was a very cheap shot out of his part. Now, as soon as this happened, Kross was leaving with Scarlett, got in the face of Samoa Joe. Now he knows not to provoke him. So basically, Karrion Kross is trying to play it cool as much as possible. But however, as soon as they leave, Pete Dunne show up. Now I don't know what is going on. We know that Samoa Joe, he's not cleared to wrestle. We don't know if we will ever see him wrestle. But seeing him with Pete Dunne, that will be an interesting match to watch. Now we get the debut of Electro Lopez coming out of Puerto Rico, taking on Frankie Monet. It was a very aggressive match, and of course, seeing more of what Frankie Monet is really all about. If you guys know who she is, before then she was known as Tel Valkyrie. She is the real life wife of John Morrison. So basically, this is very impressive. But like I said, I feel we could have Frankie Monet having Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea side with her to form an all-female faction. And that would be good. I say, let it happen. Now, recently we saw Bronson Reed, who he knows right now at the moment Santos Escobar still not done with them, like he wants to claim what he felt belongs to him. Now, all of a sudden, Hit Row showed up, and there is no doubt that uh, Swerve has his sights on the title. But however, right now their main focus is on Everrise, who decided to start something with them, in which it was their next match. Before the match, they showed a video where Everrise was trying to start graffiti on Top Dollars SUV or whatever car he was driving. But the match itself kind of went into a bit of a comedy, but at the same time you have Hit Row, who are the most dominant, becoming the new dominant faction. But the real question is, who will be the faction that'll be kind of like replacing the Undisputed Era? Well, we don't know. But it was Hit Row that won the match. Now, as you know, recently Mercedes Martinez has begun a war with Hyun Shan, where she had lost a match against Xia Li and continued to get in a fight with these guys. However, it was announced that both uh, Xia Li and Boa will be in a mixed tag team against Mercedes Martinez. Now, Martinez agreed, is okay with the idea, but however, she's not good with friends. All of a sudden, she gets attacked by Xia Li, and then Boa had these exchange of words, and then he got his face kicked in by Jake Atlas. Jake Atlas stepped up to be her partner, which is going to be another interesting match. Now, the main event between Kushida and Kyle O'Reilly, man, it was another good one, a classic of the H's. I have to say, one of the most intense matches. Now, these two guys are familiarized with each other. Now, keep in mind, this was not an open challenge for the Cruiserweight title. This is Kyle O'Reilly's challenge, and he put it out there. Kushida accepted it. And I was amazed how somehow Kyle O'Reilly got himself in a good shape to pick up the victory. However, Adam Cole shows up, who wants to finish him off once and for all before the Great American Bash. But while that was happening, Kushida was viciously attacked by some unknown guy in the hood that was revealed to be Roderick Strong, who we haven't seen for some time since the Undisputed Era broke up. And he wasn't alone. He showed up with Tyler Rust and another guy who I didn't know who it was, but the name was popping up. His name is Hideki Suzuki. And it turns out that they are now part of a faction along with Malcolm Bivens, known as Diamond Mine. So the real question is, what are the intentions? Looks like that they may have their sights on the Cruiserweight title. We don't know yet. But right now we're seeing like new factions are coming around. I think with Undisputed now being removed or no longer existing, new factions continue to rise. But the real question is, who will fill the void? Well, I hope all of you guys enjoyed this episode of me reviewing New Japan Pro Wrestling Kizuna Road, NWA Powerrr, AEW Dark, and NXT. Before I go, it was announced that Toni Storm has come out as bisexual. Yes, you heard me. She come out bisexual. I have to say I have nothing against that, because I'm very supportive of people like that. Do I have any gay friends? The answer is yes. I'm not ashamed of it because they're human beings like myself. But also, I want to tell everybody what's going to happen for the upcoming episodes. The next one will be an all Yoshi promotion. First one will be Got to Move with the commencement of the One of a Kind Tag League, which they previously announced. I'm excited for that. I'll review that as the first part of the next episode. I got Tokyo Yoshi Pro, Ceiling, and Ice Ribbon. After that, I will throw in an episode by itself with New Japan Pro Wrestling Kizuna Road, and I think that pretty much will play it out. I'm trying to decide what other things is going to take place, but for now, this is what I'm going to give out for all of you. So, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.